Welcome students. Hope all of you are fine and safe. In the yesterday's session we discussed about nutrition, autotrophic nutrition and photosynthesis. I said you to read the topic heterotrophic nutrition from the book and I hope you might have done. As yesterday we have discussed, nutrition is of two types, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means the organism makes its own food by using the simple substances present in its environment or in its surroundings. Example was most of the green plants. Green plants are autotrophs because they can prepare their own food. So now let us come on heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition, it is a kind of nutrition where an organism depends on other plants or animals for its nutrition. The examples are animals, all the animals, humans and some plants. Now you might be thinking, yesterday we said most of the green plants are autotrophs. Yes, most of the green plants are autotrophs, but some green plants are heterotrophs also. It means they cannot prepare the whole food on their own, and for some nutrient requirement or for just to fulfill the requirement of water, they depend on some other organism. So that is heterotrophic nutrition, in which organism depends on other plants or animals to obtain their nutrition. This chapter is about plants, so we will discuss about plants only. Many plants perform heterotrophic nutrition and they are categorized into four groups. Which are these? These are visible on your screen. You can see parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, saprophytes and symbiotic plants. So today we are going to start with parasitic plants. Parasite term you are already familiar. Parasites are the organisms which depends on other organism to obtain their nutrients. They live either on or in any other organism's body. The organism on which the parasites live to obtain the nutrient, that organism is known as the host. In the same way, let us see what is there in parasitic plants. A parasitic plant is a plant that derives some or all of its nutritional requirement from other living plant. The plant from which the parasitic plant derives its nutrients is known as the host. Example, dodder, which is also known as cuscuta, mistletoe, even Rafflesia, the largest flower. It is also the example of parasitic plant. So parasitic plants, they can't prepare their own food, but yes, there are some parasitic plants which can prepare the food, but just to fulfill any kind of requirement. The requirement could be for habitat, for the just to fulfill the need of the water. They depend on any other, but there are some parasitic plants, they are totally dependent on other plants to get everything out of that host plant. All the parasitic plants are divided again into two groups. The very first one is total parasite or total parasitic plant. The second one is partial parasitic plants or partial parasite. Now let us see what are the characteristics of these two groups of parasitic plants. Total parasitic plants are parasitic plants that depend on their host organism for all their requirement, such as growth, survival, reproduction. For everything they are dependent on the host plant. The example is dodder plant, Rafflesia, etc. They are totally completely dependent on the host for everything just to fulfill their requirement. And these parasitic plants do not contain chlorophyll, because if they are having chlorophyll, then at least they can prepare their food, but no, these plants do not have chlorophyll in them. The second one is partial parasites or partial parasitic plant. The characteristics are, partial parasites are the parasites that depend on their host organism for water and habitat, but not for nutrition. It means Total parasitic plants were dependent totally on their host, but partial parasitic plants are dependent only for the habitat and for the water, just to fulfill the requirement of water. Examples are mistletoe, santalum, rattle plant, etc. They only depend on the host for water and the habitat. Habitat, the place where the plant grow. It means maybe possible they are growing on any other big plant by taking its support. Partial parasitic plants contain chlorophyll, so they can perform the process of photosynthesis on their own. But for photosynthesis, they require water, and they get water from the host plant, and that is the reason they are partial parasitic plants or partial parasites. You can see the pictures of the parasitic plants. Mistletoe, dodder, rafflesia, and the last you can see in the bottom there is a plant which is known as striga. It is also known as witch weed. Weed term you are already familiar, you know the word weed. These striga plants, what they do, they grow in the field where some cereals are grown, cereals like rice, barley, corn. They grow in that field, and what happens, they very soon start absorbing all the nutrients from the soil, and they just affect the growth of the main crop. The farmers, if they are removing the weeds on time, very nice, but if they delay, they can totally destroy the whole field, because striga are very dangerous weeds. Very soon they destroy the whole field because they affect the growth of the main crop by taking away all the things given to the main crop. In this chapter, in this topic, I have given one extra information. The parasitic plants, just to extract the nutrient from the host plant, they have done certain modifications. Here I have given one of the modification, that is Hostoria. It is a root like structure, you can tell, which can come out of the stem or through the roots. They just penetrate it, poke it inside the host plant and absorb the nutrients out of it. They poke into the host plant and reach till the xylem and phloem. Yesterday I said you about xylem. There are two pipe-like, or you can tell tube-like structure present in the plant. Xylem is responsible for carrying water from the root till the leaves to other part of the plants also, and phloem, it carries the food from the leaves to different part of the plant so that they can utilize it for their growth and other purpose. So these Hostoria, the parasitic plants penetrate this Hostoria into the xylem and phloem, and from there they can directly extract the things required for their need. If they need food, they can take it from the phloem. If they need water, they can take it from the xylem. So this is the end of the topic, and now let us come on the homework. Today you have to note down and learn the definitions and difference between total and partial parasitic plants. You can go through the book content also. Second one, I want you to read the topic insectivorous plants. For the next lecture, you can also read saprophytes, so that next week when we come along together, you will be well prepared. So stay safe, stay home. Bye students. Let us meet next week.